welcome back to the channel, and we're going to do another playthrough, and this one is from Agrainger with Manzanita Club, and this rounds out group H, which I believe has Pithy Dr. G's Slain Points links, Sleepy Pandas Cape Mornington, what else was there, Malahan's Dunada Costa Sul, and Mestropics Brandywine Trails. So this is one of the only ones where there's 5 in the group rather than the 4. Still only 2 are going to get through. It just means there's slightly more competition for those 2 top spots. We're going to go medium and we're going to go east. Everything is firm and fast, so we don't need to change those. And let's go from, oh, there's a lot of T's. Well, 7,000 is not overly long. And let's go pin 2. Judging by the look from that screenshot, we are going either Pebble or Cypress or both. Feels like a contest where we've just had a ton of Cypress courses. Maybe not. Maybe I'm misremembering, but it feels like quite a few of those. Then quite a few of the, obviously, Sandbelt has been the predominant theme. Okay. Let's see what we have. All right. Okay. My immediate thought from the overhead is we can be blending our environments a little bit better. So you've clearly got the multiple environments. We've got the coastal area, hey Bower, the woodland area, and the dunes area, and it is very evident where those are. Like, try to, like, the real skill with environment switching is to make it seem like those changes are seamless. So you would want to bring sand in earlier. Think, if you look at Cyprus, it's the go-to for how that is done. Like the way the 3rd plays to that dune backdrop, or 2 plays over that barranca, 1 still introduces you to the ocean. Like, there's so much on there that I would lift from in terms of how this is done. Additionally, just with the terrain painting, I think you need more stuff like this. Basically, again, a little bit more blending. Like, you've got all sand and then no sand, and you want to blend those 2. There is lots going on. I mean, Cyprus would always have lots going on. I like the little look of ice plant, so the reddy, so I think that's what it is, the red sort of stuff. And we've got a cool dunescape. But yeah, just like blending is going to be our key word, I think, environmentally, both in terms of the bigger picture and the smaller picture. Because yeah, actually this, let's find a little bit. It may be that you found the texture a bit too hard to control. My guess is you want to try a different topsoil, which would blend a bit more. There's one on the 2nd page that I use a lot. But yeah, like where this is kind of blending between the 2, like woodwork, feels like dunes and woods areas. That would make sense. Yes, dunes close to the coast, definitely. I mean, we've got some, by the looks of it, over here. And then we've got a load of grass. We assume for lighting purposes. Oh, interesting. Maybe a little spyglassy. That looks nice. Yeah. We will play and we will find some things out. And then we've got some coastal stuff. The rock work looks lovely. I like the lighting and the fog. That's really nicely done. Cool. And we have a range as well. Right. So, off the first tee then, immediately kind of strikes me that we're lacking, again, we talk about blending. Like, you've got your trees and you've got just a big ass bush here and down here. Like, can we put some grasses down? Can we blend a little bit better? Like, those sorts of things really make a difference. Even if it's just weathering underneath the tree here, like gentle rather than all of the weathering up here would really help. Now, as for tee shot, don't mind the look of the bunkers. They're nicely ragged down there. Okay, so we could go driver. Oh, that's a green. Okay, small green, tucked into a hillside. Yeah, I would love that underbrush layer of planting, and I wonder if you ran out of meter, and if so, it probably feels like you've used too much of the plot and needed to go a bit tighter. Right. Oh, I was trying to fade it off and it is not going to happen. Stay alive. It did fine. Sightline wise, this mound here is not doing you a ton of favors because it's kind of obscuring where the green is. Let's see. Green itself possibly has a little bit much going on. I feel this part's a little random. Don't mind this, don't mind this. I think the runoff's a little heavy-handed. One of the good ways of doing runoffs is try to not make it red all the way around. So I try to have this bit where it's green and flatter, like, rather than it being 2 or 3 boxes everywhere. Just little bits. I like that we see the road and a little house overlooking. And good variety of trees behind this. Like, bits. Ugh, obviously yanked one. Well, at least I have an uphill putt from a long way away. Stayed. Yeah, not going to stay up. Okay. Oh, 2. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's possible. I think so. It's nice. The bunkering's nice, but it does just look empty. I would definitely be losing the back bunker. I think back bunkers, as a general rule, unless they're into a hillside that is already pre-existing, don't do them. Or do them, but do them low. Like, actually, Charlie's earlier on, that 4th hole did a really nice back bunker. It's probably the best I've seen in the contest. They're just hard to do well, and like visually, you can tell this hill has only been created to have the bunker, and the sightline would look so much better because you'd have a skyline flag, which would be lovely, and that would be a really good way of introducing the coast. But it's kind of just jarring against what you do have. Now the green itself, I kind of like. It feeds on from the front. The mounds, yeah, good green. Okay, get down now. Oh, it's done well. Oof. There we are. I think one of the other things about Cyprus that makes it such an extraordinary place, you've done it quite nicely this side of the green, although I think we can do a bit more. Hey, Matt. Cyprus ties in bunkers with native areas so beautifully, possibly better than any other course on the planet, maybe apart from Royal Melbourne. And like the rest of them are just, they're kind of just there, and the fairways anchoring around them. Like, again, the environment stuff is kind of, yeah, I'm leaning towards Bauer's comment of like we used a ton of meter elsewhere and didn't really divvy it up as we could have done. And I don't know, there's been some choices somewhere along the line with planting that haven't panned out, and I don't know quite what they were. As Matt eloquently puts it, yeah, it's kind of that. Okay, cool green. I would probably, if you're going to do the funky green shape, I would exaggerate this mound a bit. I'm glad that it's there because it does exaggerate, like give a reason for it. But I'd do a bit more. This is like it's a really interesting feature as an entry to a green. I don't know if I got this shot. I do not. We have our answer. Like even these ones, they're trying to integrate with the native area, but you've put the little bit of heavy rough in between them. So I just zoom out. I think part of that is getting this texture not matching this one. If you're going to do the interaction, you want these two to look as similar as possible. Yes, said that in the intro. Agreed. Blending is our keyword. Ugh, that's a terrible shot. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it did. Did not see that going in. I don't think that one had any right to. See if it's got the flag right. It's only Rhino's course that are hated for that. Entertaining though. Yes, so suddenly you get over to the very densely planted. But surely even autogen planting you could do. It really is. Even autogen planting in these previous areas, like little bits under here, would have made a big difference. I will say, I think the sand with the rake lines or like the windswept lines is not the choice for somewhere where you're doing it pretty ubiquitously, because it's just going to show up as always going the same direction and it looks odd. Like if you're doing a beach, then it works. That's kind of about it. Right. I would note we've just done the mound on the inside of the green on the previous hole. I like the look on this one. It is perhaps a touch busy. I think you could have built up the dunes around this green a little more. Turn in. Or a blur. Yeah. Get Rory to shout, boom goes the dynamite, or something suitably American. Oh, I like the look of this one. Clinging to the side of the hillside is good. Okay, that's a lot of stuff immediately in front. I'd probably be widening the fairway on this side a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. Because we are hitting driver anyway. Like the lighting obviously really helps this one, but this looks good. Into the wind may make it interesting. Into a fairway bunker may also make it interesting. I really, really like this green. I think this is the best green complex you have done so far. It just sits really nicely on the ground. It's fitting with natural slopes. It's not overworked. It's got one simple idea. I didn't mention that bunker. Leave me alone, Matt. That's not how that works. Yeah, this is awesome. Like, just really, really like it. Obviously, the lighting is helping it as well. May not make it out. Oh, we did. Oh, be good. Now it's going to kick right, as it should. Oh, yeah, fine. I may have softened that front slope just a little, not just because I've run off it, but I kind of think this part is okay, but we're already clinging on and hitting off a side hill lie. But that's minor. I mean, best hole so far by quite a distance. And I kind of, the thing to remember is that's a really simple idea of just it's a side hill hole that just keys in on that one idea and does it really successfully. Really like that. Okay. Yeah. The okay, so this one narrows down a little bit. Can push driver down there, could lay out. After the previous green, I don't think you needed to go with basically exactly the same idea again. I would critique your greens as you go and go, is that doing something? Like, are we doing different? The other thing I was just going to say off the tee is like this rough edge around the bunker. I understand why it's there because this next to this would have looked problematic, but it does stick out as looking odd. Ew, what a terrible tee shot. I'll get away with it. Yep. This one feels kind of spyglassy. Nice. Hooray! Now, I should probably have mentioned a while ago, will mention it on the next one as well, but the next TGC Tours design contest is live, so Q is running CC contest. Sign-ups are open on the forum now. I don't think there's a limit on either numbers or time. So if you're interested, this isn't one where if you are a newer designer, there is going to be a rookie design contest. So if you've not done any or many courses before, that's probably the one to go to first. But if you've done a couple of courses and think, actually, you know what, I want some really good, useful feedback, CC is a great one. So all the information's on there. This is a good green site again, because little things like you've given a space around it. It's just kind of simple. Would it help to break up the sand so it looks less uniform there? Almost certainly. Kind of everywhere, the blending, yeah. I'm going to try and hit my fade. See the big mound, and that should stop me. Oh, it's par 5. Cool. Yeah, I like this one. Up 18, off a big side hill. I didn't think to look at my lie and only realised that when I hit the shot. And we got away with it. Sort of. Really rocketed through there. Also, Matt, I'm not entirely sure what the comment about compliment or insult was for. Sorry. I looked at chat way too late. Yeah, it's a good hole. Oh. Still, par's no bad thing. Oh, the spyglass thing. Yeah, no, good. Genuinely, like, quirky, kind of interesting. Feels like it's working around a small dune. Like Cypress, I picture as big and bold. Spyglass, kind of a bit more intimate. And when I say spyglass, I very much mean the first 6 holes. Right. Small green, multi-tiered. It's functional. Like, I think you can do more exciting things with the green. It will do what you need it to do, as in it forces an accurate shot, which evidently I don't have. But it doesn't matter. There we go. That said, like the small triple tiered green, like I think we've all seen that multiple times, and we can do. There's better ways of doing it. Because the thing with multi tiered greens is if you're not on that tier, it's just a really boring 2-putt. It's exactly typical. This is what we do. Miss the 3-putter, hole the 20-putter. Big picture look is nice here. Yeah, I like the way this frames, and we head towards a big dune. It looks lovely. Downhill, like we've got some things to think about because you'll get a sightline this side. I really wish the sand here. I think if you're doing the terrain painting, you want to sculpt it a little bit more. But yeah, it's good. Yeah, here I think I'd probably want just lower the planting and everything 2 feet. So like I'd want us to see this look here rather than that. And then the further right you go, obviously the more blind you are. Terrible shot. Knew that as I hit it. Transition near the front of the green's a bit funky. Right. That bit there. Not a major thing, but it does, I guess, kind of hint at a little bit of rush for time. I know with this and the previous playthrough I've commented on being pushed for time. I do think in a contest, managing your time is a really key part of it. And we had 4.5 months for this one, which is longer than we will ever do. So I kind of feel like with that time, you need to use it pretty well. So yeah, if you get pushed for time, well, other people didn't, so I will understand, but equally, when you look back on this, if you were not just Granger, this is to anyone who's felt they ran out of time. I consider why that happened. I think for a few it will be procrastination, a few it will be being indecisive. I definitely think that no matter what time limit I give, people will want an extension. That's the thing I've learned from this contest. And I really wish I hadn't given an extension. I felt like I had to when people said there was a bug, because I've been on the wrong side of those before and it's no fun. I like this hole, by the way, before we get back into that. Like side on green that prompts a precise wedge approach works well. So yes, like I reckon nearly Matt. No matter how long we give, people will want an extension, and actually it would help quite a few people if we were to reduce it to 2 months, but I do think it would put people off from doing it. 3 months is probably the sweet spot, and we probably do 3 contests a year rather than 4. I think makes most sense. That's a nice big view over the plot. Again, I feel like the greens have been really good in parts. They've kind of defaulted to a couple of similar ideas of there's a mound on the inside or the outside that funnels something in. I think just check your tendencies. Yeah. Like 3 months should be all we need. And like I mean I did a series on it. You can do a tour worthy course in a shade over 20 hours if you want to. It's obviously a certain type of course, and it's not maybe the most exciting, but you can do it in that shorter time. Equally, speaking with Pithy, when we were playing golf in Scotland, he spent I think 6 hours a week on his course for World Cup, which is an absolute banger, and was done way in time. So like, there's different ways of doing it. Exactly, Jizer can do his. There's ways. Can I get there with a 3-wood? I don't think I can. Yeah, I feel like we've done the boomerang green that's tucked behind a dune an awful lot as well. One thing that you tend to find as well on back nines of courses is when the ideas repeat. I think we're seeing that a bit now. I don't really have different feedback to give this hole that I've given others, I would say. Can we get a spinner there? Let's play a stupid shot. No, I knew it was a risk. Oh well, you only live once and all that. Come back. Nice. It's an enjoyable contour. Like I know it has been a bit repeated, but it is enjoyable. I was actually aiming right at the bunker and pulled it, but you know, let's not let that stand in the way of a good story. Yeah, I would say another thing that you could have done would have been, let's just look at where we're at. We've spent a lot of time in this dunes section now, and the bit I enjoyed the most was the brief foray into the woodland bit. Like, can you take us away from environment and bring us back to it? If you look at how Mackenzie uses the dune behind 3 on Cypress Point and then anchors it into it on 6, on 9, on 12, like you see it again and again and again. Was it 12? I think it comes up again and it's on the front 9 actually, maybe. And then takes us out towards the ocean. Like, away and then back again is a really cool feature that I think this course would have benefited from. I don't love this one. Sorry. It's a long par 3 that's just kind of there. And I know it is functional and it's acting as a punch bowl, which we've missed. But I don't know. I think you could have done something a little more inventive here. Mm. Yeah, it's like there's a reason it's the #1 course in the world. It's just it's an absolutely perfect study. Or like Abandoned Trails is a great example of going to different environments. There's a ton of courses in game that do it. It's an interesting green. I think your thumbprint is a little severe. It cuts into the green a bit too much. Yeah, that would feel about right. And I love dunes. We all do. I guess my closest comparison is 17 Mile that I did with Golf Wolf. I think that ticks and tacks in and out quite a bit. Okay. Not the most interesting layup. Could you like try and stagger some cross bunkers or something that gives me different areas to aim for? I think here 116. There we go. Ooh, it's a good shot. Self promo. To be honest, Saucy, it's just easiest to cite your own work because that's what you know the most. But yes, I will happily take the comment. It's fair. See, this one's more interesting. I like this. I would prefer it if it were a little bit shorter. Like, because nobody's really hitting anything less than 3 wood, and I think this could benefit from being that slightly short. This one does make me really think of Spyglass 4. What's the green doing? No, not quite, but... Oh, yeah. Oh, no, this is lovely. But yes, make it a little bit shorter. And I think you've got a real winner. And then maybe tighten up the fairway a little bit so that it's more challenging if you push it closer with driver. Oh, and definitely make it shorter this end. So I have to hit driver and I've still got a 2-iron behind a bunker. Yeah. This land screams short par 4 to me. Or make it a par 5, either's fine. But you do feed the ball onto the green nicely. Water reveal is very cool. I agree. There's been some really nice moments on this course. No, that's not a publishing error. Because the approach wouldn't have been that long otherwise. So now we're out on the coast. What have we got with the coastal stretch? Rockwork does look nice. Nice mixture of different rocks. One thing I would say I've learned through doing work with Jamie in terms of planting, it's not always the same the whole way around. So just because, and like I know this because I learned planting from Andre, and like Andre will do this. But that's not real. If you look in real life, like bushes clump and they don't go everywhere. So like some bushes, some bits of grasses, like would have made this really pop. We have the rabbit template. Different ears, or Rhino's pants template. Ooh, okay. And sort of Cypress 17-y. Oh, speak of the devil. Exactly. Oh, there's the A1 drive. So, I mean, it's partly why I said try not to do coastal dunes, because it's so hard to make really interesting coastal golf that we haven't seen before. Or like dunes golf that we haven't seen before. Like it, Jamie and I found that when we were doing 17 mile, like how do you get that creative around the ocean? It's just it's tough. Can I hit a spinner? Maybe. Best thing you can do, Map, is go and find pictures of real life golf holes and try and recreate them, and just go as super detailed as you can do, like types of objects, things like that. Oh, the camera stopped. Yeah, it feels a little awkward. Just the land creating that perfect spit. I don't know that if you had this bit of land, I don't think you would put a narrow green and two big bunkers here. I think you'd have the whole green out to the point so that you've got people aiming right or left. Like some sort of, I don't know, green like there, bunker here, or do kind of what Cypress 15 does and have bunkers everywhere, which are some of the most interesting ones. Is it 90? 166? Nah, it's only 50. It's fine. I don't really have a problem with the length of green. I don't know. I think this could have been an absolute stunner, and it's just yeah, it's just a little off. Oh, that might need some luck. Oh no, we're good. We've gone right at it. No, no. Don't be happy with that. Yeah, I know. Okay. Am I still playing these in Legends? No, no, no. That stopped when I stopped playing the game for a little while. Ah, interesting waypoint. Oh, okay. I think had you made this up here fairway, maybe I'm a bit more on board with this. I don't like forcing people out to the coast this way. Or, yeah. You did this green brilliantly on the fourth. I think it was the fourth or the fifth. Since then, you've tried to do the same sort of thing a couple of other times. It's never going to be as good because you nailed it there. We're going to hit 3-wood. No, you shouldn't want it, ability. I had, annoyingly, hashtag humble brag, I had two exactly like that in Scotland. Matty and Dan can testify that I came very close to acing the Eden and the 11th on Ely, and both of them rolled just past. And I had people tell me about that. Made me really annoyed. Worse still, I only birdied one of the two. It was a fun shot. It was a very fun trip. Exactly that. I can't complain too much. It's just really annoying when I haven't had a hole in one and you're on those courses and that happens. Still quite cool. Anyway, we're going to sum up this course. There's a lot of like, I think this is close. Oh, favorite course on the trip. Sorry, Granger, interrupting. Obviously, the old course is top. Berwick is amazing, particularly back nine. We had the front nine into like 20-mile-an-hour headwind, so that was less fun. Ely is amazing. Like, if you ever go up there, play that. It's just the most ridiculously bonkers course. Loads of the rest were like all of the rest were really, really good. Personally, Dunbar like hit a perfect happy sweet spot for me of just like simple, really fun, playable golf, just in a stunning setting. But yeah, old course comfortably. Right, back to this. So did play Kilspindy as well. Kilspindy is also great. We had that in a gale and torrential rain as well. Right, back to this before I get distracted, and then we've got one more playthrough and we can discuss a bit more on Scotland. It's close in a lot of areas, but there's a couple of big decisions I think that are taken early on that maybe kind of hamstrung you. So partly the routing. and like how you envisage the dunes area and transitioning between environments, partly where you chose to use your planting as a result, whether you run out of meter or time or both. Um, but I think that kind of ties in with the big vision for the plot as well. Um, and then some of it, like things like the texture you chose for the sand, I think then caused a lot of the issues with the blending and the dunes and how you couldn't tie the bunkers in. So yeah, I don't know where that came from, whether it's doing, I would always recommend do one proof of concept hole and get that absolutely perfect before you start going full out on a course, because otherwise it becomes very tricky to change stuff later on. As for the holes, like the simpler ones were the better ones. Like was it the fifth, that par four, I think back up the hill was awesome. There are some other really cool ones. It just felt like we got some repeated ideas after a little while as well, particularly on that the starting point of the back nine. And as others have said, 16, 17, 18, it's this cool coastal finish, and I think the whole designs just get a little bit forced in there, particularly 18, 16 with that split fairway. Like sometimes you're just in an amazing setting and you can just let the golf be quite simple. I think that might have been a case there. Just like on 17, just build me a really pretty par three. Don't force a narrow, skinny green thing. Um, but there's a lot to really like there, and hopefully the feedback is useful and gives you some context and explains those comments. Right,